admitting that I don't need to be the best at everything. Many realtors believe that they have to do everything alone. If you're going to hire someone, you want to hire someone smarter than you.
Yes.
It took me a long time to figure that out because it's very counterintuitive.
Hi, my name is Maude and I'm business owner and marketing expert for all things real estate. And I'm on a mission to empower realtors with cutting edge insights, success stories, and actionable strategies from the top minds in real estate. Welcome back to Sold Right Away. If you're ready to stand out, scale up, and win in real estate, you're in the right place. And that's why today I've brought on David Wen from LePage, realtor and true entrepreneur, sharing his take on grit, success through the people around you, and how strong leadership, deeper relationships, and AI can completely transform a real estate business. From discovering hidden talent to helping agents 10x their results, David breaks down what it really takes to scale up with intention. Let's get to my chat with David. Hi, David. Thanks for joining us on the episode today. Tell us, how did you arrive to real estate?
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. I arrived in real estate in 2021. My background is engineering. I study here in Ottawa. I worked a year in engineering, and during COVID, I had a career change. I decided to jump into real estate because I had started investing that same year in 2019. That was a great year back then. You don't get those deals anymore. So maybe a little bit of luck there. And at the same time, I also opened a restaurant during the pandemic on that year.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, what made you decide to go all in real estate, I guess, other than the pandemic that kind of forced you a little bit?
For sure. Well, real estate was always a huge passion of mine. Even when I was young, I would go into those Christmas parties, and other kids would be playing with Lego, and I would ask my mom, "Mom, how much did this uncle buy this house for?" So it was it was just a topic I was always curious. And going into engineering, one of my driving passion was I like to build things. So I felt that with real estate, I could create, I could drive the needle, and I could help people with the biggest purchase of their life. And it was always a very deep responsibility that I take to do the best job with.
Yeah, yeah, that's fantastic. And then let's fast forward. So, you started in 2021. Now, 2026, you are one of the agents that are in the top 1% at Royal LePage. So, tell us a little bit your journey. How did you grow your business? And yeah.
Yeah, so we started in 2021. I was a solo agent. I doubled my production every single year until 2026. I started the team just a year and a half ago. It's almost 2 years now. And we have a happy team of 10. I have a business partner. Her name is Hayun. And together we have 10 agents, three admins, and in-house contractors now, because we're not just selling houses, we're building real estate infrastructures, from property managers, from um, in-house contractors, handyman, and even a construction crew. Right now, a lot of houses don't sell because people want turnkey, but nobody wants to pay for turnkey. So we help clients renovate at cost, or almost at cost, so that the property can be turnkey, and keeping the renovation costs low so that it can still sell, which is how we got sold over asking in one day. A couple houses like that we did last year in the down market, which is pretty unique.
Yeah, very unique for a down market, like you said, versus before when all the houses were selling in one day over asking. Now you were able to achieve that in a down market. That's the key.
That's right.
Yeah. What is the one thing that you would say you're really good at in terms of all of these projects you were running?
Yeah. In terms of what I'm very good at, that's a loaded question, because I
Yeah.
I don't necessarily consider myself the best at a lot of different things, but I understand that even though I don't know, I have the curiosity and the drive to figure it out. Right now, what I see in my marketplace is that most people and a lot of agents are failing, not because they lack talent, but because they're solving the wrong problems. So we
Mm.
live in a world with more opportunities than ever. AI, automation, leverage is everywhere, but a lot of people, they actually feel stuck. And what I personally find, and how I teach my team, is that motivation is not the issue, and that's clarity. Today, I want to talk about something that changed how I approach business, real estate, and life. It's actually a Japanese concept called Ikigai. I'm not sure if you heard of it, Mode.
No, tell me more.
Okay, so it's the idea that real fulfillment sits at the intersection of four things. Number one, what you're good at. Number two, what the world needs. Number three, what you can actually be paid for. And number four, what energizes you. So,
Ooh.
in plain terms, it's doing what you love, helping other people while earning enough money to sustain the lifestyle that you want. So, wouldn't you say that most people want to achieve that?
Absolutely. Yeah, these are the four main like ideas that anybody is fulfilling or aiming to fulfill.
Absolutely. And when you pair that with alignment with modern tools like AI, you stop grinding and then you start building something really cool.
Hmm. How do you apply those four concepts to how you build your business? Is it more helping on the like real estate side, or setting the house, getting the house ready, construction, like all of these key points you mentioned?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm when I was first started, I took a lot of long way before I could find my way. And I made a lot of mistakes and costly mistakes in terms of mental energy, in terms of financial. But I think it's important to make mistakes because if you're never making any mistakes, one thing I learned from Jeff Bezos is you for every six decision you make in business, if two good ones succeed, then that makes up for the four that failed. So I
Mm.
take that approach. And for example, I'm wearing AI glasses right now. There's a hologram in front that has some key talking points just in case I forget. This is the first time I'm testing it out. So
Okay.
if my eyes look weird, it's because I'm trying to learn how to use this new technology, and I
Okay.
don't see anyone else using it. It
No,
could not be a great product, but unless you try, you don't know, right? That's how
exactly.
I kind of approach everything in life and real estate. So,
Hmm.
what I enjoy the most, I realized from an engineering background, is problem solving.
Hmm.
Engineers were always taught to problem solve, and I love simplifying complex decisions. I like helping people see around corners and turning chaos into clarity. So once I learned all that, everything changed.
Yeah.
In real estate, although I'm in sales, I personally don't see myself as a salesperson. I don't think I've ever made a cold call in my entire real estate career. And people don't believe me when I say that, but I'm super awkward cold calling. And I just feel like it's me personally, I don't feel a genuine connection when I'm doing that. I feel
Hmm.
like it's very intentional about selling, and I like to try to dig deep and understand people. And when I'm cold calling, I don't have people won't give you the opportunity to have a good conversation to understand their needs. So without understanding their needs, I feel like I can't solve their problem. But when I meet people face to face, and I have a lot of different hobbies, so I organically meet at least 5 to 10 new people every single day. So when we meet, there's a very easy established connection where I instinctively just try to understand their problem, and I try to propose solution, and people see that like I'm not just there to make money. I genuinely want to help them, and as a
Hmm.
result, we end up building a really great relationship very quick.
I do see that. Like having your engineering background and going with problem solving, helping people will be a different approach. It'll be more fulfilling, I guess. Going back to your pillars that with your achievement.
Hmm.
Yeah, very cool. What would you say is the most impactful thing that you have implemented in your business that brought you success?
I think it's admitting that I don't need to be the best at everything. And let me explain why I say that.
Yeah.
Many realtors believe that they have to do everything alone, and if they hire people, that person they need to know that person's job better than the said person.
Hmm.
But one another thing, I have a lot of friends who are in a tech startup, and one of the things that a lot of tech CEOs say is from Steve Jobs is that if you're going to hire someone, you want to hire someone smarter than you.
Yes.
it took me a long time to figure that out because it's very counterintuitive, right? Like, how will that person be willing to work for you if you're smarter than them? But the more I meet successful people who build big businesses, 10 million, $100 million, I've met from real estate the co-founder of Second Cup, to big tech companies, and I always like to ask them for life advice coming from a younger person, and those people are like, the more successful someone is, the more generous they are with their knowledge and mistakes and life experiences. So they tell me, like, if you want to grow, you want to grow by building a community and building a brand so that everyone is pushing towards the same goal. For example, my my I used to think I need to be the best with paperwork and the fastest putting out offer, but then I realized my admin is twice as fast as me. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just give up being the best at being the fastest at doing paperwork. I'll let her take that one. And then I very quickly I realized my handyman is better at fixing a doorknob than me. So then I'm like, okay, for any of these issues, I'll just take his word for it and assume that he's gonna be on my side and have my best interest and tell me straight up what's going on. So slowly, I've kind of let go as of most of my responsibilities so that I can focus on three things.
Yeah.
Number one, that's discovering talent, and not just discovering talent that the marketplace has already established that they're worth what they're worth, but discovering talent that and that's my favorite thing to do out of everything, is discovering underutilized talent and multiplying that, help people
Love
reach their full potential. And to give you a perfect example, my in-house handyman, he I met him just over a year ago. He would mow lawns on Kijiji for $25 an hour. So he showed up at my place ready to work with the backpack. I'm like, where's your car? He's like, oh, I bus here. I'm like, really? How far do you bus? And he's like, I bus from Gatineau. I live in Ottawa. That was a 2 hour bus ride, and he was on time.
Oh,
I
wow.
was like, wow, so you came 2 hours just to do the job? He's like, yeah, I'm ready to work. I was gonna negotiate with him on price, but I'm like, okay, this guy just spent 2 hours like getting here. I'm not gonna cut him down
Yeah.
$5. So I'm like, okay, even if he does a bad job, like, I'll take the loss, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, and then turns out does the best job I've ever seen, goes above and beyond, cleans up
Mm.
after himself, finishes before schedule. So I keep giving him more work, more work, more work. And fast forward 2 years now, I introduced him to another one of my clients who owns a kitchen cabinet business. He's a project manager there, and another business partner and I started a renovation company, and he's kind of in training to be a lead foreman there. Yeah, he has a nice place. He has a nice, I wouldn't say a nice car, but he has a car. He has
Nice.
a car that's very practical and big and can transport construction tools. So within
Yeah.
1 year, he 10x. Like, very, everyone talks about 10xing, but
Yeah.
very few people truly understand that. And the people that truly understand that, they don't execute on it. And even the people who execute, they rarely achieve it. He's one of
Yeah.
the very, very few people, like one out of 100, that executed, understood what 10x is, executed on it, and achieved it in 1 year.
Wow. What a success story. I
Invest in
love
people,
it. Yeah. And that's you recognizing talent.
recognizing talent. And
Love it.
I have that, maybe there's maybe 5 to 7 people like that in my life within the last 2 years. And
Fantastic.
as I get more resources and more networks, I'm gonna continue to build on that. So that every time I bring something new to my network, my entire
Mhm.
network gets to enjoy the fruits of
Yeah.
these new connections.
True, true. So you said you're focusing on three main points in your business now, that you delegated whatever you're not expert at. Recognizing talent, and then what are the two other ones?
The two other one is admitting that I don't know anything. So
Love it.
that's one of them. I think you have to be very humble in this industry, and I don't hang out enough realtor to have, I would say, a super deep understanding of the general tone of my industry, because I kind of just do my own thing. Like, I go to the office maybe once a week for an
Okay.
hour. That's it. People don't half the people don't even know I have an office there because I'm never there, which is rare for big teams because we for
Yeah.
big teams that did over 300 transactions a year. So um, what I find is very suitable for me is that um, when I admit that I don't know anything, it's very easy to adapt to new changing trends in AI and so on. So when ChatGPT first launched, nobody was using it, and very quickly I recognized the potential. Ironically, it was because we got a RICO complaint. We don't get a lot of them, so it's a big deal. And it wasn't a big complaint. It was like for something small, super small and petty, but something that drains in the normal circumstance would drain half a day just to reply. And for those who don't know, RICO is Real Estate Council Ontario. They manage realtors. So we got a RICO complaint, and with ChatGPT, I wanted to test it out. So I copied and screenshotted the actual complaint on my phone. I was actually grabbing a coffee at Tim Hortons. So one hand coffee and one hand like screenshotting. Actually, my phone's on my right hand, so one hand screenshotting and one hand my coffee. And then I asked ChatGPT, "You are a lawyer with 30 years experience and very familiar with real estate agent law
Advice.
and draft a professional email to reply to them, which would justify their concerns." So I had like low expectations. That was maybe 2020, 2024, early on in 2024. And then it did that flawlessly. Copy and paste it, send it, and hear nothing in 2 weeks. And then
Wow.
one random day, the board has reviewed your complaint and made everything go away. So
Wow.
something that would have taken me half a day, I may not even have been as good as something that took me 5 minutes without spending any mental energy and saving me 4 hours of time minimum. So
Yeah.
that's when I realized this is not like Bitcoin or NFT or any other of the trendy investing thing. Like AI is here, it's real, and it will change workflows,
Yeah.
and it will leave people behind if you're not able to adapt to it. So then I went all in on real estate, and anything AI related, like voice recorder, AI glasses, I'll buy it and
Nice.
I'll test it out, drones, all that kind of stuff. I have a
Yeah.
budget dedicated just for R&D.
Mm.
How many realtors do you know have an R&D budget?
Not that many, so
Not
that's
that many,
great.
right? But I'm running it like a tech startup just because
Yeah.
I see how they can increase their multiples so quickly. And I like to take a little bit of concept from different industries. Like from my
Mhm.
restaurant industry,
Yeah.
operations is key. So I take some operation knowledge from there, and from the tech industry, some investing in your own business. Most realtors are investing in their business. It's getting laminated business card versus plain business cards, right? I don't see that as an investment. I don't think it'll move the needle too much. You
Mhm.
will get nicer business card, but I like to do capital investment, technology investment, and human resource investment into my business.
I love it. What else do you apply, like operational and procedures into like that you merge from real estate to AI? What else are you implementing in your business?
What else am I implementing in my business? I would say um, I try to find common ground in my different businesses that can help each other. For example, one of the in my restaurant, we just got voted Consumer Choice Award #1 Vietnamese restaurant in Ottawa, second year in a row.
Wow.
Um,
Congrats.
and that's a very prestigious award for a small restaurant like us, independent restaurant. It's kind of like
Mhm.
Michelin, where you don't know when they're coming, you can't influence the results, and it's completely third party ran. So
Wow.
from that, we just went to award ceremony yesterday, and you're surrounded by all the other Consumer Choice Award winner, from kitchen cabinet to toilet, all that kind of thing. So that was a great networking because I'm just in a room with the winner of every single business category of all the
Category.
business. When they want to sell their business, when they want to open a new retail location for their own property, for their rental properties, and they're in business, so a lot of them own rental properties, multi units.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of builders. That's a ton of real estate. That's a ton of real estate business. And then when I'm there, I'm also handing out free, like our Vietnamese restaurant is called Parlay by Dear Fresh. We serve like pho, which is beef broth, beef bone broth, vermicelli noodles.
Mm.
So I was handing them out for free to get those business owners to come, and then if they like our food, hopefully they'll come again. So
Yeah.
there's a strong cross pollination of businesses that the more you do, the more leverage you have, and the more opportunity you can create for yourself and those around you.
Absolutely. I love how you get put into a room filled with business owner and then you go straight to I'm not going to cold call anybody, so might as well just promote the restaurant, get people in, solve their problems if they need investment properties or changing or commercial. I love it. This is so empowering as term in terms of like an energy you're spending into your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you mentioned three things that you're going to focus on in your business, which is discovering talent, admitting that you don't know everything. What's the third one?
hmm and the third one, I would say it's to be humble and learn from the people who have done it. Um, there's so much knowledge in my office alone
Yeah.
that I can't even begin to wrap my head around. There's so many talented people. They're so smart. They're so generous with their knowledge and their time, and they truly do want you to succeed. And I think the management has built a Royal LePage integrity. The management has built a very good culture for people to grow and to have a desire for other people to succeed and not just themselves. And that's uh, can't say for other brokerages, but from what I'm hearing, that's pretty unique
Yeah.
in our business. So just being humble and knocking on those agents who've been in the business for 30, 40 years. They might spend first 15 minutes telling you about World War II, but I promise if you listen through those stories, you'll get some gold nuggets about building a real estate business.
I love it. I love it. How do you influence or empower your agents on your team to grow their own business and win more listings for themselves?
For sure. I don't see any agents on my team as workers or team members or someone or that I'm their boss or supervisor. I see everyone as a business partner. And I tell everyone within what I've built, I want a flexible structure that can enable to build whatever you want. So I'm here to provide resources that can 10x the speed of you building whatever you want with my full resource. So for example, I one thing I do for my team that's really unique
Mm-hmm.
is called PD Day. I don't think any other team does that, and it's one of the favorite things my agent love is PD stands for professional development and
Mm-hmm.
PD Day. So in a traditional team, the team leader is always teaching and everyone else is sitting there and learning. There's a student mentor relationship. But because I want to promote, encourage everyone to be on equal ground and partners, I don't like that relationship per se, me personally. So I want for PD Day, everyone is teaching a subject or a topic that they care about. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be real estate related. And that's a
Something
crazy
they're
part.
good at. Something they're good at.
Something they're good at or they're passionate about
Okay.
or they want to know more about, so they force themselves to teach so they can explain it.
Interesting.
Very
Okay.
interesting. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
uh, one one of my team members, she used to be a solo agent. She would do 2 deals per year. Within the first year on the team, she did 20 deals. She's one of my top superstars, and we become very close. um, Her background is a master's in arts, so she's super artistic, and sometimes for closing gifts she'll paint the house for the client,
Wow.
and people are always in tears. It's a beautiful moment, and I could not recreate that. So for PD days, her topic was teaching people about art. So she bought a bunch of paper and pencils and crayons, and everyone is has to draw each other member of the team using certain color or lines or tactic, right?
Okay. That's
And
cool.
that's a good way to see how each person sees you in different frames of reference. And I don't know if I'm explaining the full value of the event, but when we did it, people absolutely loved it. Like all the team members loved it, and they had so much fun. More than me talking about real estate stats any other day, right?
Yeah,
It
I
was
think it's team building and it got everybody closer together and
super
understanding
close.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one of the topic, and then another team member. He's from Asian background, and there's a lot of. Have you heard of a theory called feng shui?
Yes, yes.
So feng shui is how different things affect the luck and prosperity when it comes to house. And there's many Asian cultures who are very superstitious. So when he was talking about feng shui, he and I force everyone to do homework. You have to
Oh,
bring a printout, no screen, no just stand up and talk. I want people to put in the work, right? You can teach whatever you want, but you need to put in the work. So he did a printout with. I tell people you can use ChatGPT. I don't care. Like
yeah, yeah.
so,
Use the
so
technology, right?
use whatever you can to make your life easier. So
Uh-huh.
he does a printout of feng shui, like the house has to face certain direction, certain door numbers are good, 4 is bad, 8 is good, southwest, south facing is great because it's warm in the morning and it's not too hot in the afternoon. Uh, just these kind of theories that, although on the surface it looks like we're just having fun, but it actually deeply impacts the real estate business as a realtor. Because if you're showing a client of Asian background, you're like, even though you're maybe not Asian, and you're like, oh, I understand you like the number 8. Turns out this house is number 8, or I prioritize houses when there's a lot of similar houses. I prioritize those with the number 8. Ironically, my home address has a lot of 8s in it,
No
but
way.
if you if you say that to a client, they'll be super impressed.
Yeah.
So that's PD day. And one thing that I've taught for PD day that has nothing to do with real estate is poker. I recently started to get into poker, and
Is it like poker, like negotiating or like reading the other person better?
exactly, reading the other person and negotiating. Poker is a good testament to business because
Mm,
and for me, I like poker in business because it's all about finding an edge. What is your edge? Is your edge like in a poker frame of reference? Is your edge that you're better, you have more experience, you can calculate the math better, you have more money than the other person, you're better at bluffing? What is
yeah.
your edge? Poker forces you to be honest with yourself and find your edge. And when you don't have an edge, you leave the table. Otherwise, you'll be losing money. So
Wow.
in real estate, let's say now the market is not as crazy, but back then in 2022, if there was a bidding war, you're bidding against 10 other people for a property, right? You don't know their offer. It's like poker. You don't know their cards.
You
You
don't
know your
know.
cards. You know your cards. Your
Yeah.
cards is your client's approval limit for their mortgage. That's your cards in real estate, right? So these are your constraint. How do you win the pot? And the pot is getting an accepted APS, getting an accepted offer. How do you win the pot with the constraint you have? And you need to gauge what everyone around the table is doing, and make the most out of what you're given.
Hmm. That is so cool. I love it. I love how it's not real estate related, but it does apply. It does work. Like
Very
the tech
transferable.
analysis. Yeah. Very cool. So, well, you mentioned something. You're one agent that grew from being a solo agent, 2 deals a year to 20 for the first year. How do you nurture that? I know you can recognize talent now, but how do you nurture her to make sure? Like, how come she was able to do so much more under your mentorship, I guess, or your guidance?
Hmm. She So when I look for people, I don't. There's certain key things that I look for. One is
Okay.
honesty. One is desire for the good of others, and
Mm,
3 is level of effort or grit.
yeah.
Actually, that let's keep that separate. So 3 level effort, 4 is grit and tenaciousness.
Okay.
So the first one, they need to be a good person.
Yeah.
They need to be honest and not let money influence their decision.
Hmm.
In a general perspective, and 2, they want to have the best. Generally, I want people who generally want to help other people better or improve their life. Um, 3, I want someone that is hardworking because to I can teach someone to convert at an open house, but I can't teach someone to show up on time at an open house.
Yeah. Yeah. You can teach skills,
They,
but you cannot teach attitude.
you can't teach attitude, right? That's personality. That's baked into people.
Yeah.
And lastly is grit, because our industry has a 70% failure rate within 3 years. It's very high.
Sure.
Most agents don't make it. And I read a crazy stat that 60% of realtors in Toronto have not sold a house in last year.
Mm.
So in 2025. So these are very challenging odds that we are against. And unless you're tenacious and you're willing to stand back up when you fall down, you're not going to be in the business for very long. So
Mm.
that, to give that example, one thing that really impressed me with that team member is that she would always do open house every single weekend. She would call all the other agents. There was maybe 20 new agents in the same pool that she got licensed, but no one else would do open house week after week. And even when they weren't closing, I looked at her transaction record. It was very low. So
Yeah.
if she's not closing and she's continuing to do it and she's doing it with a great attitude, to me
Mm.
that's priceless, right?
Yeah.
Anything else I can just tweak.
Love
So
it.
so those are the four key things that I look for. Someone who wants the best for other people, who is very honest and kind, tenacious, and resilient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. This is so great. You can teach the rest, right? You have the background knowledge, solution finding, problem solving
Mhm.
experience to back it up. Very cool. So tell us a little bit more. What would be one piece of advice you could leave for all other realtors out there who may be struggling in this down market?
Mhm. The best advice I could leave is direct prospecting.
Mm. Okay.
And there's a ton of lead generation systems out there, and they promise so many great things: marketing, social media, Instagram. Just talk to people. Talk to people, build connections.
I,
Um, sorry, you were saying?
I love it. So no cold calling, no cold calling, just direct prospecting, face to face, 101.
Yeah, I mean, you could cold call, but cold call is still making calls, right?
Yeah.
Um, just dialing and having conversation with people, unless you have a team. I actually just brought on an ISA, and every day he makes about 80, 90 calls a day.
Wow.
Just because I'm not good and I don't pretend that I'm gonna be good. So I bring someone along that has the skill set that I lack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's more sustainable that way, and I can save my mental energy for other activity of growth.
Mm-hmm.
So for the new agents who are struggling, my advice would be, don't fall prey to the very algorithmically optimized Instagram ads promising you 20 leads per month for $499. Um, those are good at, their main customer is not helping you sell, it's selling to you. You are their
Mm-hmm.
customer. Your customer is not their customer.
Yep.
So lead generation, not saying all of them are bad, but statistically speaking, maybe 80% do not end up working out or have retention. And if they're that good, then they would start their own real estate team, because they would be leaving money. Why sell a lead for $100 when you can have someone fulfill that lead and make thousands at
And make,
least?
yeah.
So those lead generation services are all good, like are may or may not be good, but the one thing you need to have is the ability to connect with people. And
Mm.
that is just something that, if you're not comfortable meeting with people, you just need to push yourself or find what you enjoy and double down on that.
Wow. Yeah, I love
A
it.
lot of people, they meet me and they everyone thinks I'm extroverted, but when I do those personality tests, I'm actually introverted. But
Mm.
it's just I'm so used to pushing myself out of my comfort zone that when I'm comfortable, it feels uncomfortable now, because I feel like my growth is stagnating and I'm no longer fulfilling my maximum potential. So that's made it very easy for me to strike up a conversation. Not because I'm always trying to make more friends, but I want to build stronger connections with the people that I think have that I have a lot to offer, and they have a lot to offer me. And one of my favorite thing about real estate is the networking aspect. So
Yeah.
I've traveled to maybe 15 countries that I've met real estate directors in those, from Costa Rica, Japan, Vietnam. Istanbul to Greece, Athens. Um, so all these places, I've met someone very high up in real estate that those people are usually not just single entrepreneurs. They have multiple businesses. So,
True.
for example, I met the key license master holder for Keller Williams in the Philippines last year, and I also met my virtual assistants in person to build a stronger relationship. And I don't think
Fantastic.
how interesting is that? Not many people do that, right?
Yeah, very interesting.
So we went drinking in Manila till 3 a.m. with my VAs. Like, how many realtors can honestly say that? I don't think many.
No,
Um, but
that's
that was
cool.
a cool experience. And now when they tell me things like, oh, can you pay me my salary a couple of days earlier because my uncle's daughter needs to go to school. Like, most people would think their VA is being dishonest, but like, I actually know their life story. I know their uncle is a gambler and he loves his daughter and needs to send her kids to school. And my VA is an amazing person that likes to help their family. So just a lot of things like that.
Mhm.
These weird insights that makes me, I think, a more educated over and holistic leader
Love it.
will help me and my people become better at running their own business and helping me helping them
Yeah, I love it. And deeper connections. I love it.
and deeper connections.
Very cool. So before we end today, though, let's discuss what is with the what is sorry. I'm gonna redo this. We can edit this, but before we end today, what is next for you in the next quarter or this year in 2026? How will you master this year?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for 2026, I think I want to build a stronger build a stronger growth. Um, Last year we had a lot of growth, but it was very rapid growth. When
Mhm.
growth is happening rapidly, oftentimes you skip some of the foundational building blocks um, because you don't have time to clean up your back end if you're focused on the front end so much. So this year is to secure the growth that we've been able to achieve and attain to
Yeah.
make it sustainable. And I want everyone to work at a pace that can drag it out for 5 year, 10 year without burnout.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
when I noticed the energy level of my team go down, I pushed them to travel. And when they come back, they're refreshed. And one team member actually like forced her to book her plane tickets to Paris. And I'm like, we're not leaving this room till you book
We
because
know.
you. And it's not that I want. She wanted that. Like, I just
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
make sure
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
she wanted that, but
I got that.
she didn't have the drive to like see it through. So I'm like,
Yeah,
if that's your goal, I'm gonna keep you accountable for your goals, as long as they're your own goals.
yeah,
So after that, it was um, they come back, they have a lot more energy, they're ready to work, and they're refreshed.
yeah, yeah. And you pushed her through her insecurities or doubts, and you just made her do what she wasn't gonna do herself. I
That's
love
right.
it. And then, so yeah, spoken from a true engineer, you want to build this year, 2026, make sure your foundation is strong enough to then, I guess, grow even more in the next
That's right.
years.
That's right. Because let's say right now we're at level 5, and we're
Mhm.
trying to get to level 7, but our foundation is the level 3. Um,
Love it.
you you won't have sustainable growth. At one point, either your agents are going to be burnt out, your back end is going to be a mess, or your clients are going to receive lower service. Neither of which is sustainable in the long run. Like,
Mhm.
I I'm under 30 this year, so I see myself being this for a long time. I'm planning for 30 years ahead.
Wow, I love it. This is so empowering. Such a story. Thank you.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thank you for sharing all of this. Where do our listener find you? Where can they connect with you?
They can connect with us on our Instagram, upside.realty, or my personal Instagram, wen.david with 2 D's at the end.
Okay, amazing. Thank you very much for sharing all of this. Super helpful. I think it's going to be a strong, strong 2026 for you and your team. So I'm excited to see that.
And I have one last bonus word of advice
Love
for
it. Go for
for
it.
new agents. Uh,
Yes.
so first thing is, if anyone wants to reach out for me, I've received a lot of help to get where I am. Actually, one of my neighbor, who's now one of my biggest clients, he was very wealthy, and in order for me to get my second property at 23, he I took a private loan from him to write off my student loan so it wouldn't show up on my mortgage, so I could borrow the money to buy my second property. So just a lot of these people helped me so much along the way. And right now, the thing that gives me the most fulfillment is to give back. So if any new agent is struggling and wants to just have a quick 15-20 minutes video chat, I'm happy to oblige.
Yeah.
You can reach out to me through the podcast or through my socials. You can
Yeah.
probably find my number online if you search up my name. It's not very hard. We do a very good job at marketing. Google
We'll
Maps.
make sure, yeah, we'll make sure to add all your contact. This is a great offering. Yeah, that's so
Yeah, no
awesome.
worries. And second thing is for the agents who are struggling and who have financial difficulties in this moment where real estate transactions are at all-time low. 60% of agents in Toronto selling zero house, transaction volume down 40%. These are a lot of external noise. I think it's important to focus on your own business. I don't follow the news as much. I focus on my clients and my people. That's it. Because everyone needs to move in a good market or a bad market, and don't let the noise cloud your judgment, and don't let the noise impact the level of service you're delivering to your clients, and always give back. Every time I see my clients, I always bring them a little bit something. I was in Jamaica, I brought back a lot of jerk chicken spice. It
Nice.
doesn't have to be expensive, right? Give it. Oh, and then my clients, one of my like director clients from the government is like, wow, you're thinking about me. He was like surprised because
Nice.
like it wasn't a lot of money. He's very wealthy client. Like that wasn't life changing stuff for him, but that's just the fact that I was thinking about him when I was traveling. Like that just built that relationship a little bit more, so
Hmm.
that um you're a little bit closer to the client. He's more comfortable sharing things that could help you help him with his real estate needs.
Hmm. I love it. Again, continuing to build a deeper connection.
Yes, and don't be alarmed by stats and numbers, right? Like there's no need to compete with other people. Everyone's running a different business, and you don't know what people actually feel like. They could be buying those new cars with those new flashy signs, but maybe deep down they're cash flow negative. So you don't know. Just focus on yourself, build a great business, and try to understand that the business we are in real estate is unlike any other business where our personal finance is very entangled with our real estate finance. So if you're struggling financially, you got to figure out maybe you have upgraded. Maybe the market was very good 2 years ago, and you've upgraded your lifestyle to match. It's time for a downgrade instead of holding on to that lifestyle, because
Mhm.
there's nothing worse than needing to sell a house next month. And
Yeah,
I've been very careful to never put myself in a position that I never need to sell a house. It's only
yeah.
because I have to. Because when you need to sell a house, is it truly your best interest or your client's best interests at play?
Wow. Yeah, this is very thought-provoking for sure
Something to think about.
to think about. Yeah, from a real estate perspective. That's awesome. Wow, well, thank you so much. This is amazing. We should do this again and get your team on the podcast too so they can share their PD development days, their PD days.
Maybe that's our next PD day. Everyone's on the podcast.
Yes, I love it. I love it. That's so cool. Ah, awesome. Thanks for tuning in the Sold Right Away podcast, where driven realtors come to get real strategies, real results, and real actions you can take to win more listings, leads, and close more deals. If today's episode helped you think differently or gave you a fresh perspective, do us a favor. Subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other realtors who might need it. And hey, what is your biggest marketing challenge right now? Reach out, drop a DM, or book a 15-minute strategy call with me at soldrightaway.com. We're here to help you get more out of real estate. Until next time, keep closing and keep winning.